On this week's Training Focus, I want to talk about doll reenactments. A doll reenactment is, of course, what you do when you're investigating an infant death, and is just like it sounds. You use a doll to reenact the position the child was placed in and the position the child was found in. Now, there are some things to consider here. Number one, you need to decide before you do the reenactment, are you going to video the reenactment or are you going to photograph the reenactment? Personally, more times than not over the years, I have only photographed. And I'll explain placards in a moment about how photograph can work very well. But if you're going to video, be sure you have a method for videoing, you have a plan on what you're going to video, and you stick to the topics. If you're going to photograph, then you will need placards. And these are just what we make, are cardstock printed that says placed, LKA for last known alive, and found. They're folded long ways, and they can set up like a table tent or something like that where it stands up in the photo and it can be read easily. And then as the reenactment is done, the baby doll is placed, and then this placard goes in. You put the placed in, and then, of course, the last known alive or the found. And this, the picture's worth 1,000 words. This truly is an easy way to do that. Next, let's talk about the doll. Now, if you get dolls from the Sudi Foundation, they are beanbag dolls that nowadays are orange or white. They used to have different skin tone fabric. What I do not like about them, and this is my personal opinion, what I do not like is they do not indicate a front or a back or a face. And so when you place the child in the crib, the doll in the crib, there is no indication of where that child is face up or face down, whether you have video or photographs. Now, in the video, of course, the reenactment person can say they placed a child face up or face down, but there's nothing to indicate that on the beanbag doll. And many agencies that I've been to across the country have taken a magic marker and either have written the letter F and B on the head of the doll or actually drew eyes and a mouth. And this way they can know if it's face up or face down. If you have those dolls and they work for you, that's fantastic. Another option, however, is to get a regular baby doll from Walmart, Target, wherever. Anatomically correct does not matter. I like the ones that have eyes closed, or certainly ones that close when you lay them down. The most important part about these dolls is they're going to need to be dressed. And they need to be dressed in something that is neutral. Doesn't reflect a feminine quality or a male quality. The clothing needs to be probably just a onesie that's white or gray or something like that, that is what we would consider neutral, I guess. Next, about skin tone of the doll. Now, I've been around this for about 38 years, and I have never been on a doll reenactment case where someone complained that the skin tone did not match their family skin tone, and I've worked with all cultures and all races. However, if you feel that you have a large population, that you would like to have a doll that more closely matches the skin tone of the population you serve, by all means, you can do that. Again, this is why Sudi comes out with orange or white only. If you want more than one doll for more than one skin tone, again, that's up to you. The big importance, though, is that the doll itself does not have any indication of male or female qualities, such as pigtails and makeup and things like that, and the clothing is neutral. This way, you can use the one doll for any gender of baby. The other thing you're going to need is all participants that's involved in the reenactment. And in every reenactment, you're going to need 3 people, 3 entities. 1, who placed the child. 2, who last knew the child to be alive or okay. And 3, who found the child unresponsive. Now, this could be 1 human, or it could be up to 3 humans, but you must have them all present to do the reenactment, because if you don't, you're going to go on hearsay, or my husband said, or my wife said. You've got to have them there. So when you start to do the reenactment, you need to make sure, again, you've got your placards if you're going to use those. Are you going to video or photograph? You've got that set up. And then you explain how the reenactment is done. So let's say mom placed the child to bed last night. So you give mom your reenactment doll, and you and mom enter the room. Everyone else stays out of the room because we don't want any of the other participants to witness this. One, it may change somebody else's perspective, or B, the person doing the reenactment might not be honest if they're being watched by other family members. So you and that participant go in the room. In this case, we're talking about mom, and you say, here, mom, is the doll. Please place this doll in the crib or on the bed or on the floor the way you put your baby to sleep. Did they use a boppy? Did they use wedges? Did they use pillows? Did they wrap the baby in a blanket? Have them do just like they had done with their own child. And then you either video that or photograph that. You then pick the child up, take out any equipment that was placed in the crib with it, like boppies, wedges, etc. And then if you have someone in the middle, like a last known alive, let's say dad got home from work at midnight, went in and checked on Junior, and Junior was fine, then you, again, take dad in there alone with the baby, and you say, okay, please place the baby the way Junior was when you got home at midnight. And you repeat with the person who found. Now, the person who found could be mom, could be teenage daughter, could be dad, who could be grandma, whoever found the baby unresponsive. Again, go in with just them, the doll. They placed the doll the way the baby was found. Could be one person. And if it is all one person, then you do the same thing. They place the baby with or without any equipment or extras, take it all out, and then they reset the scene up as they found the child. And this is more important, obviously, in the younger kids, because the younger babies cannot self-recover, get their head in a pillow, a doll falls on them, they have a blanket go up over their head. The older child that can move around and scoot around can a lot of times self-recover. Also, the reenactment is going to be less accurate in a child that can move around, crawl, scoot around the crib, because the way you placed the child will certainly not oftentimes be the way the child was found, because they've scooted themselves around. Now, that may be different in a positional asphyxiation, or if they got their head caught between crib rails or down between the mattress and they asphyxiated in some way like that. But case by case basis. Now, do you want to use this with older children? Not necessarily. I mean, older children like an 18-month-old. You might have a case to do that. And if you have a case to do that and you feel this doll would give a better perspective, then certainly by all means do it. But the main purpose of these reenactments is so that you as an investigator can get a better understanding of the environment that child slept in, how that child was put to bed, and how that child was found unresponsive. This can go a long way toward helping you determine if this was an asphyxiation case. There's a lot of articles out there on doll reenactments. There's a lot of training on infant and death investigation that also includes doll reenactments. I would suggest you read about those, watch some videos on those, and just get more familiar with doll reenactments in infant cases. What can go wrong, what's good about them, what's bad about them, and try to make sure that you are doing them correctly. And to that end, there's another good point. You should maintain your doll with blanket and placards and anything else equipment you may have in a duffel bag or something similar. Carry that into the home, not the doll by itself. It's just not as easy, not as good for the family to carry that doll in. If there's other kids, and other kids may want to play with the doll before the reenactment. And also, it's a little bit traumatizing when you walk in carrying a doll. If you have it in a bag, then you explain to the parents what you're doing, why you need to do it, and they will, I've never had anybody disagree with it, and then you can get the equipment out of the bag. So again, doll reenactments are very important. Learn how to do them. Learn how to do them right. They will add so much to your infant investigation. Hey, if you have not subscribed to the Death Investigator magazine, you need to do that today. This is a free online magazine, comes to your inbox every single month, and it is dedicated to the field of death investigation and all of those supporting roles. Each edition is packed with timely articles, interactive links to videos and audio training, and lots of extra. Articles are written by industry professionals. There's training announcements from various organizations across the country. And best of all, it's focused around our profession and our lives. There's articles in there that not only help you be a better investigator, but there's articles to help you be a better human, to be better in your family, to be better in your finances. This publication is a well-rounded publication that is focused on you. So subscribe today. Go to deathinvestigatormagazine.com and get your first free issue and then one each month thereafter.